All right. Hello to all you cougars out there. Welcome to our second episode of From Couch to Career, an engagement-based webinar series created for you from our Western Nebraska Community College Student Success Team. My name is Katie Mosier. I am the Career Pathway Advisor here for Western. Last week, I introduced you to Career Launch, the perfect way for college students to earn internal advocates and land the internship or the job of their dreams. If you haven't checked it out yet, take a minute. All episodes can be found under the Handshake resource tab. If you haven't ever heard of Handshake, this episode is for you. This is the top 4 reasons that you need Handshake. So let's get started. In our technology-obsessed world that we live in, the way that we find jobs has changed in a big way. Want ads, flyers, newspapers, they are a thing of the past. The emergence of social media changed the way that we communicate and connect, which has also forced the way that managers recruit to change form as well. Many of you have probably heard of LinkedIn. Show you over here. LinkedIn is one of the biggest networking sites used today, and for good reason. Posting jobs and starting professional conversations is as simple as the click of a button. So you can see here, this LinkedIn profile looks freakishly similar to Facebook feed, and that is for good reason, because LinkedIn is one of the #1 ways that people find jobs. You can see here, there's a very in-depth job tab. But it also is meant to be more of a networking site for professionals, working professionals to connect. So I'm not going to go into great detail about LinkedIn today. If you want to learn more about it, tune in on November 14th for our Couch to Career webinar on optimizing your LinkedIn profile. While LinkedIn is a great tool for professionals that need a career change, it doesn't do much to support students with little to no experience. That is where Handshake has stepped in. Handshake is a social networking platform, very similar to LinkedIn, similar to Facebook, but it's specifically for the purpose of connecting employers to college students all over the world. And one beautiful part about Handshake is that when an employer connects with you, a Handshake user through the platform, they fully know and understand that they are contacting a student. They're contacting someone that may not have a ton of experience. So that is kind of one way that Handshake is going to give you a leg up. LinkedIn, you might attempt to apply for a job that has 500 other applicants, all of which are working professionals. And if your resume isn't bolstered the way that it needs to be, Handshake is going to kind of give you the leverage because they know full well that what they're getting into, at least employers do. So there's 4 main reasons that you need to try out Handshake. Not only does it give you that student, give you some clout as a student, it's going to help you get hired. It's going to help you to get discovered. It's going to help you to connect with other people and professionals and employers, and it's going to give you some expert help in the resource field. So today we're not going to go super in depth into everything that Handshake to do because that would take far too long, but I would like to give you just kind of a brief overview and a little guided walkthrough of what Handshake does have to offer. And I hope that after what you see here, you will be more willing to go and explore yourself. If you have any questions or you want to know how to use Handshake further, please feel free to contact me. I'm more than willing to help out and give you some suggestions. On that note, let's go ahead and get started. So this is the student homepage. This is what it's going to look like. You're going to notice it's not as focused on that feed, kind of like LinkedIn has this feed sort of look going on. It looks a little bit different than that. You will notice too here, I just want to point out that there is an app if that is one way that you like to stay connected. We'll go through the resource center and things like that. So there's just going to be some kind of boosted information here for you. But more importantly, I want to focus on these tabs over here and what they can do for you. But actually, I'm going to even back up a step further. One of the most important things that you need to do before you really access Handshake and get the most out of it is it's very similar to LinkedIn. You need to build yourself a profile. So you can see here, my profile is pretty empty. This is just a mock account. So I haven't filled out all of the information. But if I was a student and wanting to connect with employers, this is where I would start. So you can see Handshake has a built-in tool where you can simply upload your resume and it will take the information from your resume and manually feed it onto your Handshake profile page. So I want you to think about this profile as essentially a resume because that's what we're using it for in Handshake. So adding a photo, including your GPA, a little bit about yourself, your education, your background experience, all of these things are going to work in your favor because Handshake will use this information to match employers. So employers create profiles for their businesses and companies. They are looking for the perfect fit for students that are either in college still or coming out of college for internships, things like that. They're looking for a fit, and Handshake has a tool that will match employers to student profiles that they think are an appropriate fit. So the more information you have on your individual profile, the better off your experience is going to be. So if you're new to Handshake, this is where I would begin. Upload a resume. If you don't have a resume, you and I need to chat. So you need to schedule an appointment with me so we can discuss your resume and what that's going to look like. But really spend some time filling this out and putting some good information on there. And know that think of this as this is the first time employers are going to see you. So things like spelling, the way you present yourself, it counts, especially like your picture and things like that. All right, now to get into some of these side tabs. Over here, we have jobs. So one thing I want to point out is you're going to see a lot of internships, and that's because they know that their focus is on students. They know that you may not be done with your degree yet. So they're trying to pull students in that haven't graduated yet for either a spring or a summer internship so that by the time you graduate, you are already connected with a job. So you're going to see a lot of that. You're also going to notice that there's 1,700 jobs that have been listed on not on LinkedIn, on Handshake. That's a lot of jobs. There's lots of ways that you can filter through those jobs and do that search. I'm not going to go into detail about those filters for now. You can save different jobs here, which is kind of a handy feature. But one thing I want to point out, I'm going to skip down here to employers, is that there were 1.7 thousand jobs that have been posted, but 890,000 employer profiles. This is a good indication to me and should be to you that what employers are really getting out of Handshake, it is a great spot to recruit and get new interns and to meet students that way. But more than anything, it's not as much about recruitment as it is connecting with you. So there are a lot of these employers of the over 800,000, almost 900,000 employers that don't even use this platform to post jobs because what they want is to just connect with you. They want to be able to look at your profile and they're going to send you a private message instead of posting their job for the world to see. So that is just another reason why completing a very thorough profile is going to be really important for you. Another cool thing about Handshake is, let's say you're interested in this Darling Wildlife Society page. So you're going to see if you click on it, a couple of cool things. First of all, you can message directly the students who have worked in this position or worked for this organization. So if you want to know more about the experience, there are 74 different students that have worked here, and you have direct access to each one of them to just find out more about what their experience was like. Another cool thing, see here, no jobs posted. That doesn't mean anything. They're on the lookout for you because they've hired 74 of you. So just keep that in the back of your mind. If you go back to jobs real quick, I want to show you one other feature that's kind of cool. If you click on, let's say, this social media and campus marketing, tool. You can apply straight for this job right here on Handshake. Another cool thing you can do is it has direct access or gives you direct access to the co-founder, managers, HR, those sorts of people that are part of that organization. So you can send them a message just to start up this conversation yourself. If you're interested in the job, that can be a really great way to make your application stand out among all of those that are sent in from students all over the country. So just want to point that out to you as well. So let's see. Let's talk next about the event category. So the event category is something that's built both by WNCC. So you're going to see some career WNCC events on here that you can register for. Career fairs that we will host here on campus will also be included. These are not going to be events that pertain to like student life engagement. These are going to be highly academic and career-based events for the most part. So you'll see a lot from Teach for America. Another cool thing about these events is here's one of our college and career fairs that's being advertised coming up. Career Launch is about to start, but here's one that I really wanted to show you. For example, a lot of employers, especially big employers, will have virtual meet and greets, especially if they're attempting to hire. So think of this as a giant career fair virtual event where you can go and ask questions and connect with different individuals in this healthcare field. So this is something to be on the lookout for if you're interested in making those connections early on. So that's the events tab. Lots of cool stuff there to check out along the way. Inbox is where you're going to get direct boosts and connections to employers. So see here, this is an example. This is a message from Mike Moravec, who's a local employer. He's here in Scottsbluff. He is wanting to connect directly with you, the student, because he's got jobs available at Hydrogen. So he sent out a message saying, hey, we're looking for a technician. So employers can reach out to you this way as well. The last piece I want to talk to you about is the Career Center. This is hosted and run by myself, the career services provider. You're going to see a couple of different things. First of all, you'll notice that I have established some different lists, focusing and boosting some different employers to you that I think are going to be really important. So for example, this is the one that I love the most. These are employers that are local within about 100-mile radius. So all of these are going to be jobs or employers that have added us through Handshake that are going to be Scottsbluff and Gearing, some are in Alliance, some are in Sydney. So if you're looking for a job, even while you're in school right now, and you're wanting to make some money on the side, these are a great way to do so. So we've got several different categories here. They're hired from our school, alumni, create social impact, good for internships, those sorts of things that'll be boosted and built for you. Let's see. Another part of the Career Center I want to point out to you is our resource tab. This is our resource library that I am continually growing. So you can see here's our Couch to Career webinar series. You can see if you click on this link, it's going to take you to all of our pre-recorded episodes. So if you're wanting to watch an episode that maybe you missed, they're going to all be located here. You can also see that I have built in a few important resources. Transferology is the platform that we use in order to help you determine a four-year college, what credits will transfer, how much it's going to cost, things like that. Money Geek is all about financial tools for you. LinkedIn, we talked about. I think that's going to be a really important platform for you to use even as a college student as well. Education Quest, Nebraska Works, great jobs hunting website there. ONET for exploration, Big Future, all really good stuff that we're constantly building. So this is something to check out. Okay, that I believe is a wrap on episode 2 of From Couch to Career. So I would just like to review with you. Those are the top, not 5, but 4 reasons that you need Handshake. Next week, October 3rd, we're going to be meeting with some folks from Student Life to talk about getting involved on campus. So if you're struggling right now, maybe with your mental health, maybe you just need to figure out a way to connect and get that college experience, which feels a little different when you're on a community college. our next episode is going to be really helpful to you. And hopefully I can provide some resources that'll help you to decide how you want to go about that. So thank you again for tuning in, and we will see you all next week. Please feel free to schedule an appointment with me, email me, call the front office if you have any questions. All right, Cougars, have a good one. See you next week.